Actually. Yay, the Bad Batch has done it to me for a third season in a row. I know I was a bit negative in my last video, and I'm sorry for that. I was just having a rough time. Still am a little bit, but that's a little personal. See, in season 1, about halfway through, I started to get the feeling that the story wasn't really moving along as quickly as I would like it to, and that story being the clone uprising, or the clones changing throughout the galaxy and how they were adapting to it. And then in season 2, it was pretty much the same thing. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Mega become force sensitive or something, or anything like that, and the clone uprising really pick up because we saw Commander Cody and he was told he defected or whatever, and maybe we'll find out from Rampart if that's true or not now. I doubt it, but that just opens it up for another season. Now in season 3, about the 11th episode, I think it was, or 10th episode, I thought, okay, story isn't moving along. There's a lot of monster fighting and all that. The clone uprising isn't a thing. And I was like, okay, it's still a good story, but it isn't what I had hoped it would be. And that was my fault, because I am a Star Wars fan and I am arrogant like every other Star Wars fan. But I will get into that in just a moment once you hear a quick word from our sponsor. And that sponsor is me. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like for the video, and drop a comment down below. Let's see what you think of the Bad Batch Season 3 so far. We only have 2 episodes left, and I can't wait to see how it ends, but at the same time, I don't want it to end. And being the slow-minded person that I am, and being excited that the Bad Batch did pull me back into the story, I came to the realization that it is not about the clone uprising or Jedi coming of age or anything like that. Yes, there are force-sensitive elements in it, and there are elements of the clone uprising throughout the last 3 seasons, but that isn't what this story's about. And this story is about the realization that it's about other things than the shiny stuff. It's about family, and how that family has evolved to match the changing galaxy, and how it's continuing to evolve, how they're all being there for each other. And that's what Star Wars is at its core. It's about family feeling like you belong somewhere, and all of these misfits belong together. Now, where Rampart fits into that, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Now, for those saying that there's no real character development in the show, and I don't think I've really heard anybody say that, but eventually that'll come out. There will be people who say, there's no character development. Give me some water. No, that's not the truth. There's plenty of character development, and one of those characters is Emery. Emery is really not liking what the Empire is doing to children. Now, she was in the clone experiments on their blood and all that stuff, and that was different. Those were adults. Yes, they were her brothers, and that's sad to think of it that way, but they were adults. Now she has to deal with children, and she has to do the same things to them, and it's really starting to get to her. And you can tell that, and maybe eventually she's going to be an ally to Omega on the inside. But at the same time, there's another character developing, and that's Omega. Omega in the Bad Batch Season 3 has grown so much, not just physically, but mentally. She's showing more of an adult side, taking on a leadership role with the other children, saying, I'm going to get you out of here, and we're all going to escape and live a happy life forever after. Now, that's amazing to me, because for a long time, Omega was this optimistic little ball of energy that we all just wanted to just squeeze her cheeks and say, hey, good job, girl. But now she's becoming more adult. She's seeing the realization that everything isn't as shiny and happy as she had thought it was at one time. Now she's seeing the horrors that are the Empire. She's been seeing it throughout Season 3, but now she's really ready to deal with it rather than sit back and be a victim. Now, throughout the Bad Batch Season 3, Crosshair has become my favorite character. In these last couple episodes, there hasn't been really much development on him, but they really did develop him throughout the beginning of the season and even at the end of Season 2. So, yeah, he's an awesome character, and he's really deep. And I think this show, with the clone uprising and all that I mentioned before, I think it's going to spur more series. Probably not even just one, probably maybe 2, 3 other series, because we have the Ventress story, we have the Clone Uprising story. What happened to the Zilla Beast? Is Omega going to ride it out of Tantus like a horse with the other Jedi? Possibly, but I doubt it. So that's going to have to become a thing. Now, Rampart, let's get to that guy. Okay, he's an interesting character. Yes, he's an anti-villain or villain or whatever. He was a villain in the first 2 seasons, and now he's kind of the guy you gotta trust. And he's showing he may be trustworthy, but that's probably false. He has to show the Bad Batch at least one victory before he tries to get back in the good graces with the Empire. And I think that is likely going to happen near the end of the Bad Batch Season 3 and may even cause the downfall of the Bad Batch. But I don't think it's going to happen the way Vice Admiral Rampart wants it to, because he's going to become a prisoner yet again, most likely. He loved the power of being an Imperial officer. He even states he can't wear a captain's uniform because he was a Vice Admiral. Still showing he misses his old rank and stature, a little bit of pompous in his voice. Yeah, he's likely going to betray the good guys. Sorry. And good guys is a perspective, like I've said in other videos, but this is the perspective we're being shown, that the Bad Batch are the good guys, and I don't see any reason why to think they were a bad guy, even from another perspective. That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, the Bad Batch Season 3's really got me hooked in, and I'm going to be sad to see it go after the next 2 episodes. And I hope they do continue the other side stories that have been going on with it. It's just been great, and I think they should continue the animation in this style. It keeps getting better. From the Clone Wars to Rebels. Okay, the Clone Wars animation was better than Rebels, but the story in Rebels was good. So now we have the story and the animation in the Bad Batch. Not saying the Clone Wars story was bad, but there were a lot of episodes that you really don't need. Not that they were bad, just side stuff, like what was with C-3PO and R2-D2 and those tiny people that really had nothing to do with anything, really. I don't know. I know people like those 2 droids. I like them myself, but I didn't see an entire episode or arc even being dedicated to them. It didn't make any sense. Anyways, I got sidetracked. So yes, the Bad Batch Season 3 is my favorite season so far. And it's because I came to that realization that it is about family and making it work in a galaxy that doesn't want them. Nobody else wants them. Even Sid, who they trusted for so long, turned her back on him and turned him in. Yeah, becoming a bad guy, like the guy said she was going to do. But everybody doesn't want the Bad Batch. Nobody wants the Bad Batch except for them. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And one more quick word from our sponsor, me. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, do it. Why? Because it's freaking Star Wars, baby, and you love it. And I'm a positive Star Wars channel, and I love being positive about Star Wars. There are things I don't like about Star Wars. Every movie, every episode, everything. There is something that gets down under my skin about Star Wars, but there's so much more positivity in it for me that I can enjoy it. And I enjoy it as entertainment. So hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment. And let's see where we can take this channel. Let's hit it up to 50,000 subscribers. What do you guys say? I'm going to have some special guests on here eventually too. More of them. And sponsors. Those are coming. Yeah, real ones. Not just me. All right. This is Gerald, the Star Wars Fanatic, signing off. Wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching. And remember, this is the way.